I don't have a hereditary cancer. I never have. I don't know what that fight feels like. I'm a different kind of survivor. I'm the survivor that cancer leaves behind after ravaging a family. I'm the survivor that raises 3 young children who will never get to see their mother again. My wife Heather died after 38 months of fighting ovarian cancer. That included 29 rounds of chemotherapy, 3 different cycles of radiation, multiple surgeries, and 7 weeks of starvation. I know we fought the best fight we possibly could. We did everything right given the circumstances. We just lost. But yet, I'm haunted by some questions on a daily basis. What if we had known that a mutation existed called the BRCA gene? What if we had known there was a test that would help us identify that she had that mutation? What if she had gotten that test and we had taken action based on the results? I find myself wondering almost daily if my story would be different today if we had known. She was 39 years old, pregnant with our 3rd child, and we went in, because she went into labor, and the labor was getting too extended, and so we made a decision with the doctors to perform a C-section. And after they performed the C-section, first off, there was the moment of fear where they couldn't get our baby to breathe. And as soon as that was overcome, there was a second moment of fear where the doctor basically lifted her ovaries out and said, "We have a problem. Are you going to have any other kids, or should we take this out?" And I didn't really know what I was looking at, but I said, yeah, take it out. And so really we went into 10 days of complete mayhem, where we found out we had stage 3C ovarian cancer. We had a newborn child. She was trying to breastfeed for the few days she could before she started chemotherapy. My wife, Heather, always lived with the certainty that she was going to get cancer because of her family history. She just knew it, which is why she tried to take every precaution up front and got tested. The thing that I think was a complete surprise to both of us is she always thought she would get breast cancer. She never considered ovarian cancer. And so all of the preventative actions or measures that she took were all breast related and never anything ovarian related. So yeah, so she did. She lived in that fear, and unfortunately, she was right. Both her aunt and her grandmother on her father's side had died of ovarian and breast cancer, respectively, at a young age, and that had led her current physician to get her tested and have frequent mammograms on a more regular basis at a young age at 30. But it was only after the cancer diagnosis that we went and met with a genetic counselor as part of the initial treatment regimen. And after hearing Heather's family history, the genetic counselor immediately told her that she had the BRCA mutation and really just had her get tested to confirm, but she was absolutely positive that she had the mutation, and that was the first we had ever heard of it. We made a decision to always be very forthcoming with our kids and expose them to everything that we were going through, for better or worse. So 3 days after she was diagnosed, they knew that she could die. And we never hid that from them, and they were a part of the treatment. The only really sad thing is, the 2 younger kids really won't have a memory of what their mother was like healthy. And so I think that's the real tragedy of the whole thing. My daughter Maya is having to deal with, who's almost 10 now, is she really, for the last 6 or 12 months, struggled because I think she lives in the fear that she's going to follow in her mother's footsteps. The biggest gift that could be given to her is the liberation of knowing that the gene didn't pass through to her. And only the test can give her that gift. So the only question to me is not whether we do the test, it's when we do it. When do we give her the gift of either the power of knowing that she can take measures today to impact her life, or the liberation of knowing she doesn't have to. I don't think my story is unique. I think that there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people just like me out there, but the cause dies with the cancer patient. And it's not because we don't care, it's because nobody's telling us what we can do, right? We're sort of just left to pick up the pieces and figure out how to survive and move on with life. If somebody took the time to tell the people like me what we can do to make a difference, to harness those numbers in addition to the previvors and the survivors, that's a whole new pool of people with a cause that is just as emotional, because we've already lost our loved ones. We know what it feels like. We don't want others to have to feel that as well. I think there's power in that.